We're now starting the third layer of our training. Having learned how to share the good news, we move to thinking about how we need to multiply life. Sharing our faith is not a battle against our own nerves. It's a battle of the spiritual realm. But a spiritual battle is not fought with physical weapons. It's fought with prayer, and lots of it. So commit to praying for your friends as you embrace opportunities to share your faith. As we share with our friends, we're going to face their concerns, questions, and maybe criticisms about Christianity. And some of these concerns might be fair enough. We want to be able to effectively find ways to understand their issues, to be able to help them think things through. Remember that your friends will bring their own life experiences into their thinking about the reality of God. We want to connect with these experiences so we can help them connect with Jesus.
So many books have been written over the years debating the merits and pitfalls of being a Jesus follower. Scholars have studied and written and debated on all the issues, ranging from the authenticity of the Bible through to the engineering problems Noah faced when building his boat. And still, most of them disagree about loads of stuff. You could try and read a book about this every day for the rest of your life, and still, you wouldn't come close to having a grasp on all the issues you may face when sharing your faith. So, sharing Jesus isn't about having all the answers. Often, it's about connecting and listening before we begin to share. This guy called Peter once wrote in the Word, "Always be prepared to give an answer when people ask you about the hope that you have." So, sharing our faith is about being prepared to give an answer for the hope that we have in Jesus and the full life that he offers us. However, Peter also reminds us to do this with gentleness and with respect. If a friend has a view which is contrary to ours, we want to really take the time to listen to how they came to their view of the world. Our objective should be to maintain our humility and to really understand their position so we can seek to show them the relevance of Jesus as the answer to their question. If we can achieve this, then we're going to have laid a really strong foundation for us to build upon as we begin to share our faith.
I think the saddest thing I've found is just apathy. I think people just don't care. I think it's just not, a lot of people think, they might even think it's true, but they just think, I just don't want it in my life right now. It seems like it's an option.
I think some of the main issues are people don't want to they think that their life is going to change and they're not interested in that. That's a big issue.
The most common thing I've come across is they're interested, but just not yet. They like the sound of it, but maybe there's something in their life that they're just not ready to give up yet. That's kind of coming between them and God.
I think a lot of people struggle with their concept of the church. They might find Jesus very exciting and be quite interested in him, but when it comes to making the decision to join a church or go to some kind of organised religion, they really struggle with that.
The fear factor that they have to suddenly conform to a whole set of new rules.
A lot of people that I've spoken with over the years don't really care about whether God exists or not. They don't actually think about it very much. It's not an issue in their lives. It's just something that doesn't matter.
It's awesome to have a feisty argument about, the reliability of the scriptures, or was Jesus actually God, or that's awesome. I love that. But when people don't care, how do you argue?
Once we've come to terms with the fact that sharing our faith isn't about having all the answers, it gives us a great deal of freedom in our faith-sharing conversations. This freedom comes from not feeling threatened by our friends' questions and doubts and criticisms, or even their apathy. Instead of seeing these things as threats, we begin to see them as springboards that can move our conversations towards Jesus, who claimed to be the way and the truth and the life. Maybe it would be helpful to remember 3 simple things. Firstly, we need to hear and understand our friend's question or concern or their existing beliefs. Stephen Covey put it pretty well when he said, "Seek first to understand, then to be understood." Secondly, if our friend has a question and we don't know the answer, we just need to be honest and say, "I don't know." But thirdly, if it's a serious question and maybe it's standing in the way of them wanting to know more about Jesus, Offer to research and read up on the question at hand and promise to return to the conversation when you're more informed. Ultimately, understanding and connecting with our friends' concerns and existing beliefs, it's not about having all the answers. It's about developing trust so we can point our friend towards Jesus as the source of their life to the full.
Think back to times that you faced hard questions while sharing your faith. Maybe it's been things like hypocrisy in the church, or aren't all religions equal? Maybe how can my past be forgiven, or is the Bible true? Talk together about how you've handled these kinds of questions, what has worked for you. Our website contains additional material that can help you with a number of these issues.